Hey everyone, welcome to 5 Minute Fridays, where we take 5 minutes to close out our week in the Word of God. Today we're going to look at one single verse out of John chapter 13, verse 34. A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. And the reason I share that with you today is there's actually two reasons. One, I planned it. This is what I wanted to talk about the week after Easter, the week after we got an opportunity to remember the story of Christ's sacrifice for us, to remember his victory as he rose from the dead, and to just be refocused and re-energized by that pure gospel message. But I'm also sharing it with you today because, as you may have noticed, I got this little one with me. She has had a cough for quite some time, and just the last couple days it's gotten a little worse. And this morning she did throw up. And so I hope she's not too much of a distraction for you. But she's a prime example of kind of what this verse is all about, at least one part of it. And so one of the ways that we can show love to one another is by caring for our needs in this life. You know, caring for somebody who's sick, caring for somebody who's struggling, maybe walking through the loss of a loved one, caring for someone who, is just in need. Whether it be a physical need, an emotional need, a mental need, whatever it is, we are called to love one another and caring for each other in this present life. But we're also called to love one another in the way that Jesus did, and that is in teaching them everything that he showed to us, everything that he taught to us, everything that he told us, everything that he did for us. And coming out of Holy Week, my encouragement to you is to be looking at this world and asking yourself, who is Jesus calling me to love today? And for some of you, it might be multiple people, but I'd be willing to bet every single one of us has at least one person in our lives who needs to hear that awesome message of Jesus, that he came into this world to become one of us, to take on our sinfulness, to take on our brokenness, to take on our sickness, our disease, to take on everything that we are that doesn't line up with God's perfect standard for us. That he came to take all of that to the cross, to die in our place, and 3 days later to rise again. Not only to declare his victory for us here and now, but to point us forward to the future and total victory that we will have when he calls us home or he returns. And so I challenge you to be asking yourself, having just come out of Easter, who is it that God has placed in your life to love as Christ first loved you? Who is it that God has placed around you that you can care for? Maybe in the way I'm caring for Lucy today. Maybe they need some physical help. Maybe they need some emotional help. Maybe they need some mental help. Maybe they need some spiritual help. But who is it that could hear that gospel message from you one more time? Who is it that could hear the truth that Christ has come, Christ has risen, and Christ will come again? Who around you could you be loving as Jesus first loved you? I challenge you to be looking for that. I challenge you to be engaging with that. And the final challenge I have for you is to be able to recognize, are you the one who needs that love to be shown to you? Because so often when we read these verses, we think, okay, I have to be the one to show love to someone else. But, in order to be able to show love to someone, there's got to be someone to receive that love. And I think where we oftentimes struggle is being the recipients of the love that people have for us, that Jesus has shown to others that they are now showing to us. And so if you're someone who's struggling right now, whether it be physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, as people are trying to love on you, I encourage you, let them. Because the way that we get out of that need there is by receiving what we need, by receiving the love that Jesus has for us, by receiving the gifts that Jesus gives to us through other people oftentimes, so that we can be rejuvenated, so that we can be refocused and get back out there in order to love others as Christ first loved us.